Language Learning Series, your AI English tutor.
Okay, what if I told you that you could have a personal English tutor who's ready to go 24/7, never ever gets tired of your questions, and costs absolutely nothing? Well, in this explainer, we're going to show you how a tool you probably already have can completely change the game for your language learning. So let's just get right to the heart of the problem, right? You want to speak English confidently, maybe for a trip or for your job, but trying to practice in the real world can feel, well, super intimidating. And don't even get me started on private tutors. They can cost a fortune. We're talking hundreds of dollars an hour, which for most of us is just not going to happen. But what if that huge barrier just disappeared? Seriously, imagine a tutor who's always there for you, who never gets tired, never judges you for messing up a word, and is 100% free. This isn't some far-off fantasy. It's the standard voice function that's already built right into ChatGPT. Let's really break down how massive this difference is. A traditional tutor? You gotta schedule lessons, and it costs a lot. The AI partner, on the other hand? Zero cost, available literally anytime, day or night, and has infinite patience. This isn't just some small improvement, it's a total game changer for anyone who wants to learn a language. So that all sounds great, but how does it actually work? In the real world. Let's start with a classic challenge for any beginner: trying to order a coffee in another country. Getting started is honestly so simple. You just open the app, tap that little voice icon, and tell it what you want. Something like, "Hey, I'm an English beginner. Can you help me learn how to order a coffee? Let's start with the basics, and please give me feedback." And boom, just like that, your lesson has begun. All right, so the user gives it a shot. "Hi, I want coffee." I mean, it gets the point across, right? But it's not super natural, and it could even sound a little blunt. In a real cafe, this is where you might get a weird look, but not with your AI partner. And just look at this response. It starts with encouragement. Good job. This little bit of positive reinforcement is so important. It builds your confidence and actually makes you want to try again, instead of feeling embarrassed that you made a mistake. Now this is what makes it so powerful. It doesn't just tell you you're wrong. It gives you better, more natural options. And this is key. It explains why, like reminding you to add please to be more polite. This is real learning, not just memorizing phrases. So after a little back and forth, patiently adding one new thing at a time, like the size, the type, any special requests, the user goes from that first simple try to building a complex, totally natural sentence like this one. It's an incredible progression, and it all happens in just a couple of minutes. Okay, so it's amazing for beginners. We get that. But what about more advanced learners? Let's crank up the difficulty and see how it handles a really high-stakes goal: getting ready for the IELTS speaking exam. For this, you give ChatGPT a very specific job. You're not just asking for a little practice, you're telling it to become an expert. By giving it the role of a senior IELTS speaking coach, you're basically programming it to give you super specific and relevant training. You can even give it a super detailed lesson plan. A prompt like this structures the whole conversation to perfectly copy the real exam, everything from warm-up questions to those tricky abstract discussions, with feedback coming after every single step. And this right here shows you the kind of feedback it gives. The user's original sentence, it's fine, it's grammatically okay, but the AI's version, changing like cooking with to enjoy cooking because I like preparing, wow, it's just so much more fluent, more sophisticated. These are those little changes that can really push your exam score up. So we've seen it work for a total beginner and for an advanced learner. But let's take a step back and really figure out why this is such an effective tool. I mean, what's the secret sauce here? It really boils down to this quote from the person who created our source material. He calls it emotional value. Let's be real, practicing a new language is stressful. We're all afraid of being judged. But with the AI, that fear just melts away. It creates this pleasant, positive feeling that makes learning genuinely fun. And these are its superpowers, right? It's this patient, encouraging, and totally free coach that gives you a safe space to fail, to try again, and to actually get better. That feeling of psychological safety, that's a combination you just can't find anywhere else. And here is the secret weapon. After you're done, the entire conversation is saved as a text transcript that you can also listen to again. This is huge for reviewing your work. You can read the corrections, hear your own pronunciation, and really let everything you learned sink in. What's so useful is that it leaves you with a clear plan. After that coffee ordering practice, for instance, the AI summarized the 3 most important things to work on: pronunciation, fluency, and intonation. That's focused, actionable advice you can take into your very next practice session. So whether it's finally ordering that coffee, acing a big exam, or just wanting to chat more confidently with people, this tool puts an unbelievably powerful tutor right there in your pocket. The only question left is, what are you going to use it for? What's the first thing you want to learn?